All right, so many more questions. This is not what was on the to-do list for this morning, but I now feel responsible for the Save Act information and making sure I'm doing my fact checking and getting it correct as much as possible. Sorry, I can't talk to you with my glasses on, but I need them for reading, and we're going to read some stuff here in a second. Thank you again for all the new subscribers. I will be honest, I'm feeling a very little bit intimidated. I'm very passionate about deconstructing patriarchy, which is the end all be all goal for me. And we're going to talk about deconstructing patriarchy in episode 4, so a couple more weeks here. And deconstruction means nothing more than dismantling. Think about like a Lego set you're taking it apart and trying to put it back together, not according to the directions that they do nowadays. I don't know if you have kids, but my kids love those Lego sets. Great marketing tool by them. But I'm like, take them apart and build something that's not in the book so I don't have to buy another freaking Lego set, right? That's what deconstruction is. It is dismantling the ideology that has built the system invisibly. So again, have a pen and paper ready so you can take some notes. First and foremost, I meant to say this on the Sunday update. I am not your savior, and I'm going to do a nice, neat post later on. But we have to stop expecting other people to be our saviors. I know we're all super busy and we're relying on other people to get us the information and to get it correct. Those of us that are now in this boat are doing the best we can, I hope. I don't know. I know I am. But please don't rely on me 100%. Do your research and share your research and make sure that I've got things correct, right? So that's forcing me to do more research on my own. And and then you can't only do your research though. That's why you need to learn how to deconstruct these ideologies, because these things are written in such a way that on paper they look fine, but in reality, it's a completely different thing. So you have to know that voter laws in this country have always been racist and sexist. And we have to start with that understanding. So some of you that are showing up and saying this is no big deal, well, it's no big deal for an upper class elite white woman who's changed her name because she's got access to money to get help to get the right documentation. For those of us in the lower class or the poor, we don't have money or access to get the help we need to get the right documentation. And that's what this is about. It's about limiting the ability for other people to vote, except for the people they want to vote. So first and foremost, doing more research, somebody mentioned that this came out of the state of Texas. I shouldn't be wearing this, but I live in the state of Texas. If you know anything about the state of Texas, which in this day and age, who doesn't? This state has been bought out by 2 millionaires. Oh my gosh, who is the guy? He's an Austin or San Antonio representative who is the right type of Christian. I don't believe in Christianity anymore, but if you're going to be a Christian, be the hippy dippy type, right? The love and peace and all of that. Somebody give me his name. I'm so bad at names. I think that's the ADHD part. But he is so good. You know what? I put him on my Facebook. Let me put the pause on. All right, James Tellerico. He is a state senator, I believe, out of San Antonio or Austin. He is a very, again, I'm going to call him a hippy dippy because I know people don't like the word progressive Christian, but he has an episode. And again, if I have time and think about it, I'll try to cross post it over on YouTube. So make sure you're going to YouTube to find me, Deconstructing Patriarchy, write that down, go to my profile and it's there. The link is there. There is a playlist now, Take Action, February 2025. I'll try to do one a month depending on what we have going on. But James is awesome because he just spells it out. He tells you the truth. They're 2 oil-rich white Christian nationalist priests have bought the state of Texas. They've bought Governor Abbott and they're buying everything in this state. So this bill, Save Act, HR 2022, it's HR 22, comes straight out of Texas from Chip Roy. So there's your first red flag, right? So we're not just looking at the bill, we're looking at who's behind the bill. Second thing I mentioned on Sunday is these little steps, and we're going to talk about this on our live on Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on YouTube. So make sure you get over there, click the bell so that you get alerted of when we're going live. But these little steps that they take is what they've done for 75, 80 years now, since the racist, since the civil rights movement pushed them out and they had to get creative, and then they went back to, going after women's rights and women's wombs and all of that stuff. So they take these little steps because they know it's easier to take these little steps and get us to be apathetic, and that's how they got Roe versus Wade overturned. So yes, this on paper might not look like a big deal, but it's a little step, and we have to be vigilant right now if we want to try to save our country. So another thing I heard, Christy Burke, who is also on YouTube as a deconstructionist of Christian faith, phenomenal, follow her if you can, talk about apathy, and I talk about this as well, is when you stay in the state of doom scrolling, it has a tendency, yes, you are finding information, but you have a tendency to flood the limbic brain and the prefrontal cortex brain, right? So there's this gate between these two brains that if the limbic brain gets flooded, it's going to shut down your gate to the executive part of your brain, and you're not going to be able to think, and you're going to get stuck in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. And you're not going to be able to take action, and action is what we need right now. We don't need you drinking in more news on stuff you can't change. We need you taking in information on things you can take action steps on, which is calling your senator about this bill and saying no to it. All right? So I have read the bill. I have links now over on YouTube. Where? Deconstructing Patriarchy on YouTube with my face on there. I look like this, okay? But I look much prettier because I have makeup and everything on. I just wanted to get this out. I'm pretty without makeup. I don't need to put that on myself. But anyways, so all the links to the bill will be on all of the descriptions of all of those videos. Now go read it for yourself. But the problem is, this is lawyer speak basically, and a lot of us aren't lawyers. Real IDs are not accepted in this new law. It's a little confusing because if you read it, gotta get the glasses back on. Hold on, I gotta get to it. Where is it? I had ChatGPT. So it is on the congressional website still, so they haven't hidden this information from us, which is something that we were also suspecting. Those people in the comments, we have to be careful about people in the comments too, because they might be people that are trying to plant seeds of doubt. Right? Do your own research. You are your own savior. Don't count on everybody else, but also people can be planting seeds of doubt. So here's how it reads. Documentary proof of United States citizenship. As used in this act, the term documentary proof of United States citizenship means with respect to an applicant for voter registration, any of the following. A form of identification issued consistent with the requirements of the Real ID Act of 2005 that indicates the applicant is a citizen of the United States. That doesn't mean a real ID is valid. So we'll go into more specifics on the live on what this includes. But again, your action step right now is call your senator, go to my YouTube and get all the links you need. I have the bill in there now. I have a link to the bill. I have a link to go find your senator. Call your senator and oppose it. Tell your friends, call them, email them, text them, tell them to oppose this bill. If it passes, then we will start to look at how we can help and make sure, because the other thing you have to think about is most people aren't informed. So yeah, I have 1,200 people on TikTok now, 440 on YouTube now. That's awesome. And I know other people are speaking up about this, but a lot of people are not going to be informed. So they're going to go to the vote and they're not going to be registered anymore because they're going to be expunged from the system. So you have to think about those type of things. We have to make sure that the populace has the right to vote, not just a few, and we can't make it just easy for them. And this does not make it easy. It puts the burden, it puts so much burden, especially on those people that have changed their names, do not have money to get these resources or the help to make sure that they have the right identification. People in rural areas that have to get to a city now to register. I mean, that's all the stuff that you're not going to read inside the bill. That's why we need other people helping us to understand this. All right, go.